All right, so one of the things I've discovered recently, shouldn't be new, but if I want people to buy my stuff, I probably need to make some content. So my name is Max, this is my forge. Today I'm make a twisted spike today out of a 1045 rod, and I've got a piece of Damascus cutoff that I think I want to forge into a knife. So we're going to take a look, see how this looks, what we're going to do. I'm going to throw these in the forge, and we'll figure it out. If you're wondering why I turn the lights off when I start getting into higher heat stuff, and I want to work it for a little bit longer, I got to keep it dark in here so I can tell how much heat is actually in Damascus. I don't want to start causing delams or start causing the material to break apart. Rare, but it happens, and I also want to work it a little bit longer. So the only way I can tell if I can do that is if it is dark in here. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm segmenting out where my hand's going to be on this, and I'm just basically separating the parts of the knife. So you saw it was originally just a big chunk. Now I've made it a uniform length, width. Now I'm segmenting where my hand's going to go, and the portion that's going to be for the blade. And then I'm going to flatten it, straighten it, move these things around the way I need to, and eventually it'll be a knife-shaped object. All right, so a question that constantly comes up is why forging versus stock removal, right? So this chunk of steel right here, this is a whole bunch of layers of Damascus. This is an undercut of steel. It's about 10 ounces, okay? I'm gonna forge this out. It's gonna have some loss to it as I forge it down, as I grind it and everything else, but this is 10 ounces. Some people would throw this away. This is a knife. This is one of my shop knives. I was just playing around with shapes and materials. This knife with handles on it is 7 ounces. It's thick. It is a decent size. It's long. But why am I going to throw away decently good steel, especially Damascus, that put a lot of time and effort into, and just toss it because I can't grind it to shape? There's not a benefit or a detractor to forge to shape versus ground to shape or any of that, but if you want to utilize as much material as possible, I do say that there's less waste with forge to shape. That's my only hot take on forge versus ground. All right, now we're going to hammer the tip in. So we're just starting to create this curve. I think I want to end up going with a drop point to this. Again, I kind of let the steel decide what it wants to do, but I think that as you start getting this to shape, start leaning it on the anvil, going for different shapes and, based on the way that you're hitting it and the way you've got an angle on the anvil of where you hit it with the hammer. I'm going to face the blade away from me, and I'm going to focus on bringing the knife, the hammer down on the edge. Alright, now all the hammering has kind of removed some of the handle shape, so I'm going to be adding that back in a moment here. Alright, now I'm going to show why people, blacksmiths, like leg vice. Leg vice, the leg that goes all the way down to the ground, obviously has to absorb all the hammer energy that's coming from the hammer. I need to, well, I'll show you. It's always my fault. She says it must be cheating because I turned off my phone. But that's the only freaking way she'll leave me alone. The trouble with girls is it's never enough. They love to complain and they never shut up. They like to tell you the way it's all the way. They want to tell the one you trust, don't tell me. The bitch came back. The very next day, all the bitch came back. So obviously if you do that on your workbench, you're going to either screw up your workbench, you're going to screw up that nice Wilton bullet vice you got. And the jaws aren't really meant for massive abuse. I need to set that end, setting it, making it thicker in one specific area. I needed to upset that end because I want to draw it out to have a larger place for my hand to grip. So that's what I did, and you'll see more of the results of that in a bit. Alright, so this is going to end up, I've decided this is going to end up like a baby kukri. I think I'm going to give it maybe a little bit more tilt. Not quite kukri, but we're going to keep the belly, we're going to keep the handle relatively the same. I'm going to give it a little bit more curve. But yeah, that's what this is. Alright, so let's see if this piece of scrap Damascus is worth the effort of doing all this. Now it's not heat treated yet, just threw in the edge for about 10 minutes. See what it's going to look like, see what the progress is here. So yeah, we've got some good looking Damascus. Obviously we're going to get this thing really nice and clean, polish this up, heat treat all that, but you know, this is why we hold on to scrap Damascus, because I think this will end up being a pretty cool little knife.